Well, it's almost been a year since the great flood of Nashville, and we've been through a lot this year. The initial reaction coming in on that Monday and seeing the office and the plant underwater, thought we'd lost everything, didn't know if we'd ever get back. That afternoon, we put a team together, started rebuilding this place. We ran this the rebuilding of McDougall Company like a construction job. We met every day. We gave people certain tasks and responsibilities, and we really learned how good our employees were. They really band together, worked together, and we only missed about 10 days of production. We were back up and running. We operated out of a construction trailer for 8 weeks. The rest of us operated out of the accounting department in my dad and uncle's offices with no air conditioning, but we got it done. And what we're looking at now today is a facility that we made all the improvements and all the changes that we missed the first time. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. What we're looking at here now at McDougall's offices, they're a lot nicer. Has enabled us to skin the building with our product to help market the business. And looking back at it, we're in a better place right now. We've learned a lot. We've learned how to handle a crisis, and we've learned really who are our strong employees, and I'm just glad to be here and glad that we're back up and running.
The first memory I had, I know Tim Howe had called from Atlanta to say, hey man, it could get bad. This was Sunday afternoon. That it could be bad at the shop. But by then, everything out southeast where I live, out in Smyrna, was kind of receding. And I thought things were on the recovery as opposed to getting worse. And then what really sent it home, I guess, was Monday morning when pulled around the corner there on Amy Lynn, and that's as far as you could get. Several cars parked off the side of the road, and the water all the way back up almost to the railroad tracks. So that's about as far as you could drive. But by then, they'd already, I think Alec and Tim had already mobilized and turned around and gone looking for boats. So shortly thereafter, we had the boats, and several of us started piling into these things and getting back into the shop. Then what I realized was that it was about ankle deep at that time. I mean, we were just sloshing through the 3-4 inches of water at the front door. Thank goodness, I think it was Gary Wilkerson and somebody else had come in Sunday afternoon and realized what was happening, and had gone through the front office, picked everything up off the floor, the computers and everything, which really saved a lot of headache, I think, on their end. So by the time we got here, most of that stuff was up off the floor and somewhat safe. And then throughout the day, the water just kept coming in. It was, like I said, 3 or 4 inches. By the end of the day, it was probably 1.5 feet. And by Tuesday, it was as high as it got. I guess I think the final flood stage in Nashville was 52 feet. So that means it got in here probably around 48 and a half, 49 feet was when we saw it here at the building. And I never dreamed. I knew we were close to the Cumberland, but I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined that it would get to that level here at the shop.
I remember driving back from a business trip up north, coming back through April the 30th, 2010. None of the news channels up north even covered the story that there was a flood in Nashville. My sister had called me a couple days before and said that it was flooding, but it floods in Nashville a lot, so I didn't think anything about it. Until about 7 o'clock Sunday evening, April the 30th, I tried to drive home and the interstate was closed, and I drove by the shop here on my way to try to find a hotel room somewhere, and the water was already at the door. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the kind of thing that could drive a company under. And I got to think about all the people that relied on this company, their livelihood, and what if that were all gone, and all the equipment that was going to be lost. Our server was on the lower floor. All of our computer equipment was on the lower floor. That some of that stuff was irreplaceable, and the equipment in the shop take months and months to fix. And I remember coming back in the next day and seeing Alec there and seeing his wife Monica, and over the next few days working together. And there was never any air of defeat or anything but a positive attitude that we were going to get through this and we were going to get back to work soon. And I think it was the leadership of Alec McDougall that really put us where we are now. And I think this company is better off now than it was prior to April the 30th, 2010. I'd like to say thanks, Alec.
That very first Monday, after initial assessment, we were down at Lewis's Market down the street, game planning. Tim, Tom, Alec, myself, and several of the people that had made it in, we started the game planning. How do we move forward productively? How do you start the cleanup? And by Monday afternoon, a good portion of those plans are in place. And then Thursday, when people could actually drive back here, the cleanup crews were in full force. Over the weekend, they really hit it hard. And next thing you know, from Thursday to Thursday, we've gone from devastated by a flood to some semblance of production. At no time was easy, but the good thing about this company, and one of the things that I've prided myself for learning through the years, one of the best things about this company is its people. And something like this could have had people running for the doors looking for somebody that's high and dry and not suffering from this flood. But these guys all here, like I said, with 10 plus years of experience, were in here every day with the dirt up to their knees, getting this thing back together. It was impressive.
When I got here, Alec he was already working on a plan, and I was sent to get my boat so people could get to the building and we could assess the problems, assess the damage. And then the one thing, a lot of vendors come by, fast and all. People bringing water to us, people providing some food for us, snacks, a few things like that helped us through when we were going in and out of here. There was just people that come in and pitched in around and showed the reason why we're the volunteer state. And people here didn't wait on FEMA, they didn't wait on the government, we didn't wait anybody to come and help us. And that's one thing I'm really proud of. From the McDougall standpoint, and basically Middle Tennessee period for the most part, they didn't wait around for somebody to come and help them. It was time to get it on, and we all pulled together and we got this done, and we reopened this plant in 2 weeks, and we're back producing work. And I'd like to thank the insurance company and our people that helped us during that time to guide us through that situation. And just a bunch of people that worked together and worked real hard to get this company back on its feet. And that's from the people out in the plant, the people in this office, and our vendors that really come to our aid and helped us when we needed it. And we appreciate that.